first topic I'm going to talk about from this week is the defense and criticism uh, activity and article thing that we read. So my opinion on it, um, I definitely think everyone has like their defense mechanisms and stuff, and that we tend to not realize when we are being defensive or using those and stuff. Like it's just kind of like our reaction because we're used to it, and I feel like no one really wants to hear things that like other people criticizing them and stuff, so that's why we tend to get defensive and stuff because it's hard to hear sometimes. Um, it's kind of like people making excuses for their actions and stuff when anyone critiques them or did they do something wrong. It's like them being defensive is almost like excuses, but not intentionally. Um, I feel like excuses are definitely super common these days, not even just with people being defensive, just in general. Everyone's constantly making excuses for themselves, their friends, their partners, their family, whoever, their kids. Like, there's just always an excuse for every single thing. And people just don't really take responsibility that much. Um, I think that excuses, like, people think that they're just, like, explaining their reasoning on why they're doing something wrong or doing things a certain way and stuff. In their head, it's just like them explaining themselves. But in reality, a lot of the time, it is just excuses, like trying to make themselves feel better for what they did or like messing up on something or whatever they did. It's just them trying to make themselves um, feel better. So it's just like when people are faced with negativity from other people, it's just instantly like they're getting they get defensive, trying to defend themselves and make themselves feel better about themselves, and so that others they think that they're having others see them better as well, like explaining themselves. Personally, I feel like I get defensive sometimes, um, just with like certain things, like if someone's trying to like criticize me over something that doesn't even matter, or if I didn't ask for their opinion or anything, or if I don't agree with it, then yes, I get defensive. Um, but if I know that I'm wrong and I feel like I'm wrong, or if I do something then later on I realize that I'm wrong, then I think I'm pretty good at owning up to it and admitting my faults rather than just getting really defensive. But there's definitely times where I've like done something and then gotten defensive and at the time been like thought that I was doing the right thing and stuff, and then later on I'm like realized I definitely was getting defensive and shouldn't have, and should have just owned up to what I did or whatever and stuff. It's definitely hard and it's a learning process, and it is hard to admit that if you're wrong and stuff, but it's just part of life. Like everyone's gonna screw up, make mistakes, and do something wrong, and so it's just better rather than being defensive. Then it's better to just admit your fault and move on and say you're sorry and have it fixed. So there's my opinion.